probably the nicest person in the industry. Probably no. You see her scowl, her face of evil. When I first saw it, I think it was Twitter. I'm not sure. It was Twitter or Facebook. I'm not sure which. I was like, so I'm not sure. I said something about lunch money, and that's been our little running joke for years now.
And I have yet to get any of your lunch money.
I know.
Come on.
I know. But you've gotten lots of nice compliments. You've gotten some nice reviews, and everybody I have met that has talked about you has actually said nothing but nice things about you.
Oh, you're not talking to the right people then.
Or am I?
Yeah.
Am I? Right? Yeah. Let's see. There was. Let's see. Ma Park. She said she likes your stuff. Chuck Pinot says nice things about you. I don't know, man. You seem you and I can actually say this from someone that's read your work. You're very good. Very, very good at what you do.
Why, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I mean, we kind of and also, although I feel it's less weird, we're still in a weird time. Maybe I'm used to it. Maybe that's I haven't got to the alcohol yet. No, I can't say that. Yeah. You can drink to that because Lord knows I want to. I think, yeah, it's weird. It feels a lot less stressful over here. Maybe in light of certain other things as well. I mean, we're still insane. We're still a little crazy, but I get the feeling as we get towards the latter half of the year, it'll be less crazy. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not.
Yeah. It's a sad thing to say when you're getting used to this life, you know. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's day in, day out. It's the same thing. But yeah.
She says with a heart after it's that same thing. Ugh.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, we'll all be stronger at the end of this, right?
Or less sober. I'm not sure which.
I mean, they go hand in hand, right?
Yeah. I'm stronger. I'm stronger for this. My liver hates me, but I'm stronger for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I look at I try to look at the good things. Honestly, I don't know if I would have chatted with you last year if it wasn't for this. So I'm going to take that as a good thing because I actually got to meet and have an actual conversation with you. So there is. So I'll take that as a good thing that did happen last year.
Definitely not. You know, I'm not that busy.
No, you're not hard to find. You're just busy. You're just busy.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, too, you just have to look at the silver lining because this allowed us to slow down, look at the world, get a different perspective, and buckle down and concentrate on new projects. So, I mean, there's silver linings in all this. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, there are hugs. I miss rock concerts a lot. I miss them a ton. I really, really want to go to a metal show. I really just want to. And like I said, I think towards the second half of the year, we may not be in full, hey, we're going to do all the crazy stuff we did before. But I also think that once we cut loose, it's probably going to be like every other pandemic when it's over. We're all going to be hungover, but for different reasons. Happier reasons. What happened? We just went through this, but we don't want to talk too much on negative times. I will ask this though: what did you learn this year?
What did I learn?
I mean, you said this earlier. You had this chance to look back and reflect upon how the world has changed.
Yeah.
And maybe how you see the world. Do you see it differently? And how do you see it differently?
I do. It definitely makes you think inward a little bit more too. Reflect on how you react to things and things that seem so big before don't anymore. Definitely a new perspective in that aspect. And it just really proves your ride or die type of relationships. I don't want to get gushy or all gooey, but my husband, it's solidified, my choice in a mate that is, he's, holy hell, made me survive this for sure. But it did bring to light some relationships that I should probably purge myself from. Some negative, nasty relationships. So yeah, and to move away from that heavy shit, it also, showed me that I can buckle down and get my stuff done and concentrate on the artwork that I want to concentrate on. And yeah, it's strange. It's I don't know. The negatives are definitely there, but there were definitely some positives too in this forced free time here. So
A forced pause and reflection in life. So I made, like, for me, so the bit, like the heavy shit part, I recognize how fragile life actually is.
Oh yeah, brief.
Right? So my work in progress right now is kind of like a little homage to Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 and Isaac Asimov's Nightfall. I had this really interesting thought. Like, if you look at the concept of the Tower of Babel, the idea of one language, one world, one thought, we're kind of in that right now, people, in one really weird way, because we are literally connected by a light bulb. Like, if you want to talk about how fragile life actually is, I mean, the one way, it's not the way you want to necessarily end the pandemic, but a really simple way. Like, we are literally a light switch away from everything going gone. Yeah. And that kind of puts in perspective, like, for me, what it taught me was we have to believe in what's out there for it to work, which is a very interesting thing, like a very interesting thing in terms of the dynamic of how the actual world really works. Like, as much, whatever you believe, the truth of the matter is our belief in how the world works greatly impacts the world we see each and every day. And I recognize, like, in that fragility, that's like, because it's so fragile, that's a powerful like thought about how the world works. I was like, that's fascinating. And I never would have seen it that way, quite this way. Yeah, that's my big thought. That's my, like, big thought of it. And the silver lining for me is, I mean, people like yourself, Christina C, people I never would have even dreamed of meeting. Probably would have met you at a convention at some point, considering how it's odd. I'm used to be, I lived in Western Canada, and now I'm, like, in Ontario, like at Windsor, like literally the border from me. It's like so close and yet so
far. Yeah.
And going back to, like, a belief system, like, seriously, it's an imaginary line, right? It's not really that big great a distance, but that line is the difference between me seeing my family, some of my family, and not. It's just like, wow, like, that's an amazing thing, actually.
Yeah.
So,
dark stuff.
Yeah, let's
light stuff, but dark stuff.
Yes, right. Yeah, well, yeah, and light and dark at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, the flip side is, like I said, we've met people. We're more, in one way, we're more connected than we ever were. Did you learn any new skills? Actually, that's a fun one. Did you learn any new skills in this time?
Yes, actually. So for my Patreon, I was doing some little videos here and there of just, like, I called it creative differences, where I would just dabble in different creative aspects. And I did embroidery, and I did acrylic painting, which, I'm a digital artist. I do traditional pieces at conventions, but never really like painting. And so I got to, like, just sit down and just acrylic paint, and I loved it. It was so peaceful, and just being able to create for your own sake of creating was just fantastic. And I bought myself a giant chunk of clay, and that's my next endeavor, is to see if I can sculpt. So I've yet to crack into it, because I know I'm going to make a damn mess everywhere. But that's my next.
That's next project. So me, I started drawing. I'm not going to say I'm good, but I actually So far, I've discovered the secrets behind the Grinch's smile, right? And no, seriously, I figured out. It's the lines in his mouth. That's how you make the Grinch. It's the lines in his mouth. That's the secret. It's like such a simple thing a line can do. It's like it's a very powerful little thing. I discovered through Lego the secret of how to make a porn stash.
Yes, we're making it today, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, so my sister, it was her birthday, so I did a Lego Paladin for like modifier as a drawing bid. I did a Lego Paladin. This is how I discovered this whole porn stash thing. I recollect the old Lego, like remember the old Lego figures with those beards and the way those beards you had to get those them on. I drew one and was like, oh my god, that's like a Tell 'em Selleck style. Oh my goodness. And I can't unsee that anymore. I just can't unsee it. So now the question is, what came first, the Lego or the Selleck? That's a very different life question there, I'm sure. But but then I was joking about this, and my sister goes, "You've got to make a paladin like a female porn stash thing paladin." So I'm like, okay, I'm having fun with this. I'm goofing off. I'm not pretending I'm learning. I'm getting better. But I think the most important thing I've learned about like when you do a new skill you're not sure about, have fun. Just have fun with it and let it take you where it's going to take you.
Precisely. Yeah. Yeah. Don't get into your head. Just let it happen. Trust the process.
Exactly. So you are going to go with the lunch money joke, right? Yes. She's going to beat me up on panel, ladies and gentlemen. Now she's going to take my money and run. Actually, you know what you should do? You should actually make yourself even madder because of all the money that's coming out is Canadian. So it's like two jokes in one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's like you got my money, but it didn't help you.
No.
Yeah. Like useless Canadian money. No.
Well, yeah. So I on my Patreon, I draw my patrons' faces, and so earlier I made you make the lunch money. I'm gonna steal your lunch money face that you always say I make. So I'm gonna draw on your little mug today. So there it is.
I'm scared. Actually, I'm not scared. She's good. Like I said, I was really impressed with Plume. Like really, really impressed with the work you did with that. That was a very good story, and you did it for a very sustained period of time. So like you're a very good storyteller. Like
thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, you're a very, very good storyteller. So do you want to just get in and start drawing? We'll just be chatting like this as we'll go here.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So she's going to put on the share screen. I'm going to bring that into focus here. But first things first.
All right. Here we go.
So we got that.
All right.
And we're going to do that.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. You can see it. Yes. And that's for me. I'm gonna look at Johnny. So I actually gotta say I do enjoy the new Mortal Kombat. How they did him was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a video gamer at all or no?
I am. I completely am. And it's been a long time since I've played Mortal Kombat. But I miss it.
So what's your games of choice?
I'm definitely the story-driven type of game, like Red Dead Redemption, The Last of Us, Uncharted series, Metal Gear Solid, like all those series.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
So it's definitely story first, but and sometimes you want to do the whole mindless, shoot 'em up every now and then, but.
So I'll tell you my mindless game. My mindless game of choice is Ninja Theory Devil May Cry.
Aha.
See, that's my mindless choice of that's a good one. That's the one I'll do for him. I'm gonna draw a bow tie for the first time ever. I am.
Ooh.
Yes. Well, so I'll probably do a couple different Johnnies here while we talk. But no, that's my mindless. The other one, I have to admit, I have a love for the Dynasty Warriors games because there's no way you can kill that many people in real life. But it's oddly fun to go through that many mooks in a game. It's a bit repetitive, so I can't do it every single time, but surprisingly a good stress relief. So
hold on, I'm going to share just my Photoshop so I can actually look at you as well. So okay. Can you see just my? All right.
There we go.
Yeah, I feel like. Okay.
Okay, that's it. You got it?
I think so. Oh, can you see? All right, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Figure out my life here. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, one of us has to. And like I said, it's sad I'm being the adult here tonight. I'm hosting the show.
I know.
That's scary. I'm the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh God. No. Don't curse me like that. What did I ever do to you?
I'm just gonna keep on drinking. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on drinking.
Yeah. Much simpler life. Less headaches.
Well, I don't know.
Less stressful headaches. More other headaches like alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you do digital primarily now, but I imagine you started with a pencil like I'm doing right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I always enjoy the traditional sense as well. It's just, it feels like the happy place. But with digital, it's just so much easier and streamlined, and we just get spoiled with that. So,
well, there's so many tools out there now that I'm just barely getting started with this stuff. But yeah, I mean, storytelling software it's amazing. Like, there's Adobe, the Creative Suite. If you're poor like me, there's GIMP. There's other really good programs out there.
GIMP? Is that what you said?
GIMP.
Huh. I don't think I've ever heard that.
It's kind of like a Photoshop. It's a poor man's Photoshop. It's a free one. It's not as good as Photoshop. That's to be expected, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've been meaning to do the switch to Clip Studio. I've yet to take the plunge because, man, I'm trying to get all these projects done, and I can't make the commitment quite yet.
Well, so how many projects do you usually do in a year, if you don't mind my asking at this point?
It really depends on the year. Obviously, with this last year, I was able to accomplish quite a bit, especially with my own personal projects with For Goodness Sake is my new series. And actually, I'm about to launch it on Kickstarter, the last of the series, March 10th.
I saw. I might try to support you at this time. We'll see. I'm in the interesting process. I did a year of freelancing. I learned an awful lot. I was great. I did it. I'm going to go probably back into the J job thing for a bit as to stabilize slightly.
Yeah.
You have to do that sometimes. But at the same token, I'm glad I did it. I learned an awful lot. I discovered new skills as well.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, I mean, I also know this too. No matter where I end up going, I'm going to end up back on the freelancing end of things again, probably sooner than later. It's one of those. I enjoy the freedom of it. It's really. I mean, you got to work your ass off. You're pitching all the time.
Oh, it's a constant hustle. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's fun too. Right? It's fun too because you get to.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, constantly hustling, but you get to play in your own world, and you get to be your own manager and own boss, and just it's.
Yeah. So I mean,
involved me every day too.
Yeah. Well, just out of curiosity, if you don't mind my asking, I mean, I'm assuming that you're creating full time now at this point.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, with conventions being non-existent right now, it's been a tough year. But thank God for Kickstarter and crowdfunding and all that. I've been able to keep it up. But yeah, with convention sales have been, what's keeping the art alive. So yeah, hopefully we can get back to it soon.
Yeah.
safely. Right.
Yeah. We're ever gonna get. Right.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I kind of look at it. I grew up. I moved around a lot as a kid, so there's that little part of me that always, when I hear the word safety, I kind of cringe because, again, life is incredibly fragile, and I know this. But
Yeah.
but hopefully anyway. Um, actually, I am fairly certain. I am fairly certain that at some point this year we're just all going to say, you know what, this was fun, but I'm glad it's over because
Yeah.
I never want to do this again.
Yeah.
That's where
hopefully it's lessons learned. We now know to wash our damn hands and yeah, be safe, be healthy.
Yeah. Well, that's the hope. So the best thing about the best thing about how we heal is we forget.
Oh,
That's
boy.
good, and that's the best. That's the best.
Yeah. Doomed to repeat.
Yeah. Oh, everything repeats. So it was amazing to me how much we repeated history in the last year. It was interesting to me. Just how much in some ways some ways we change, in some ways we don't, just it's interesting. The only thing I promised myself is I would try to be kind to everybody in the last year, because that was probably one of the harder things to do for a lot of people. But for me, it was more about, I gotta live with what I mean. No one's gonna blame you for what you had to do to survive. No one's gonna hold that against you. But at the same token, I kind of feel like if I don't treat people good, no matter what is on the other end, right, I lose something. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're suffering. You're putting a black mark on your soul.
Well, that's it, right? So
it's tough because you want to say, yeah, be nice to everybody, but when there's Nazi sympathizers, not quite on my list of people to be nice to. So
I get that too.
Yeah,
totally get that too. My grandfather my grandparents on my mom's side they were in Germany. My grandfather, once upon a time, was part of the Hitler Youth, way back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that's fun history.
Yeah. No, they had a book with the history of Germany. He's in there as a little boy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was neat to see it, because it was like, okay, that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when I look at, I have a interesting, so when I look at Nazi stuff, no, I understand it all too well. Right. And interestingly enough, Germany has no monuments to Hitler. Most people don't, because they don't need to. They remember. They want to glorify it, and they always warn people, very, very, very blunt, that it can happen anywhere, anytime. Because again, something I said earlier, people forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's important to remember. So, but that's yes, that's a little history everybody may not know. It's like, that's just a little fascinating truth about how the world works. I love how you got my eye. That is phenomenal.
No, you can see me, right? So this is the picture I'm working off of. Just I don't know.
I can see you, but obviously the picture. Pardon?
Am I live? Like, can you see? Can the audience see?
Yeah. I can hear.
Okay.
Let's do this real quick so people can see. So we're gonna do this real quick. Show people.
All right.
So she asked me to take a picture.
This is the mug shot I'm working off of. Crazy.
Yeah. That's mine. She asked me very, very, very. Can you yeah. How did you?
There it is.
Okay, so we're going back. We're going back so we see the result. You can come back to this later on. So, my thing is that scowl is epic. How did you perfect that scowl? Did it involve your kids?
No kids to speak of, because if I had kids, they would see that a lot. No, I honestly don't know. It literally just came about naturally. So I don't know what that says about me, but yeah, I find just smiling in pictures is boring. You know, you got to make a funny face, and that was my go-to face, I guess. So
you're trying to hide how secretly nice you are.
Yeah, you know, you gotta have this kind of reputation. You know, you gotta be tough. You know.
Yeah, I know. I know. But like I said, I know, like, honestly, folks, she's really, really nice, and also really, really good at what she does. So when you look at any of her Kickstarters or any of her projects, you should just check it out just on principle, because, right? Whether it's for goodness, because she just does good stuff. Actually, the cool thing about this time is I think Kickstarter got a ton of attention. Just based on the fact that comic shops were shut down, and so everybody was looking around, and it's an interesting thing. I'm not going to try to take away your business aspirations. So if you can't comment, if you got something top secret in the works, but you've carved your own niche, which is admirable. You're incredibly admirable. Would you work for the big two right now?
Honestly,
yeah.
I don't think I would, unless of course, you know, they come knocking on my door and offer me like millions, and I mean, a girl's got to eat. But no, I mean, I've found this amazing audience, you know, people that are willing to read my silly little stories and pay their hard-earned money on it. And yeah, I mean, I enjoy the hell out of it, and it's so fun just to create your own stuff and just to play in your own worlds. And yeah, I mean, I always say this, that you know, working for the big companies, you become part of assembly line, because, you know, there's the inkers and the sketch artists, the inkers, the colorists, the letterers, and you just become part of assembly line. You kind of get lost in the numbers. And I mean, there's some benefits to that,
sure,
obviously, but, and you know, some people, that's exactly what they want to do, and that's so awesome. But me, I mean, I guess I just got spoiled when I first entered this world, where I lucked out in finding this little corner of the internet and doing my own projects. It's just, yeah, I don't know if I would work for somebody.
No, I only asked that because it's an interesting thing, because I have a theory about the working for the bigger companies now. See, I truly think that no matter who you are, like, could I see you someday working for a big company? Sure, I could. I mean, you definitely have the chops to do some really fun books. I'd love to see you on Jonah Hex, just as a personal, like, that would be damn cool. You have a lot of fun with that.
It really depends on the project too. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'd love to see it. But at the same token, right, no matter who you are or how good you are, I mean, every time you go, like, the business end of this is there's a shelf life with your time with any of these places, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a time for it, and then that time comes to an end, and ultimately you're going to end up exactly back where you are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So my theory is, if you do decide to go, and you might, I mean, hey, like you said, girls got to eat, right?
Yeah.
You got kids. You may have kids someday. You might decide that, you know what, you want to do something different. Or you might just even need a break from your project. It happens, right? You might say, you know what, I need to take a little break, right? But when it's over, you're going to end up exactly back here on some level. And I'm like, if you already have your audience, you already have people that are clamoring for your stuff, like, would there be an appeal anymore for that? You know?
I mean, you say back to this spot where it's like a step back.
You're producing. I'm not saying actually. I'm not. What I mean by that, it's more like you're on a platform. You have your niche. You've discovered your audience. You are Lynn Smith, badass comic creator. That's who you are. You rock. She likes that.
Yeah, my resume. Yeah, badass.
That's that. Right. That's who you are. Now.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, because you have shown many impressive skills. For example, you have the commitment and dedication to not only complete a comic book, you have an entire series under your belt. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's management, right? You are incredibly skilled at what you do, and you're a great storyteller. And you are literally, right? A lot of publishers dream. You don't need direction. You market yourself fairly well. You know who you are, and you're an awesome human being to boot. So, right?
Thank you. I like this ego boost. I love it.
Yeah, it's great, huh? but I mean, just how you guys. I mean, again, we talk about freelancing and selling yourself. You got to be able to you can't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
Plume was what, 18 issues?
Yes.
Yeah, so you did an 18-issue series on your own, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So there's not a lot of comic creators that can do that and furthermore, do it at the skill level you have. Right? So that says an awful lot. Now, if I am a company, I would want you to work for me because I know you're going to complete a really good project, whatever that is. And I can trust you with the property because you know what it takes to bring a book out there. Right? So I mean, it's on, like I said, that I'm just strictly speaking on a business level. You fulfill a lot of requirements that a company would want to look for, at least any sane company would want to look for, right?
So I do have 2 projects this year that I'm working with other companies. So yeah, I mean, there are obviously other projects besides my own, and I enjoy them immensely. I do. I enjoy the collaboration, and I enjoy bringing someone else's vision to life to the best of my ability. It's problem solving. It's using part of your brain that you don't really, I mean, you use, but I mean, it's just fun. And yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but yeah, also, you get to play with your own characters too. So yeah, it's, I guess, yeah, it depends on the project. I've definitely come to the point where I really consider what project I'm signing up for. Is it something that I want on my resume? Is it on my portfolio? Like, something I'm going to be proud of. I don't want to just sign on just because, it's DC or Marvel or, it's going to look good.
And that makes total sense. Like, you also have your own reputation to think about in terms of the kind of work you want to bring out there. You have your own brand.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. That's totally what you like. You are a brand. You're and a rising star. Like I said, I tend to think so anyway. Maybe one day, I mean, I've seen this with some other friends I know that've done Kickstarters. Maybe a company comes up to you and go, hey, that book you did? You want to turn it into a television show? And you're like, sure, I'm in.
Yeah, right? I actually had a company, pretty big company, approached me for goodness sake, and I don't think I can say the name.
No,
but
no, you don't.
They wanted to turn it into a children's show, and I'm like, that's not going to happen with For Goodness Sake. The main character is a devil, so, and he is definitely he's a demon. He's definitely a demon, like the things he does. So it's not going to work out so much. But yeah, I mean, other projects are in the works that I can't talk about.
And you shouldn't. You don't need to.
But you are you're near the idea of what the possible project could be.
Yes, and I'll guess off the air because I don't want to put you in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll guess off the air because I like you. I like to think if we're not friends, we at least get along fairly well.
As long as you pay me, your lunch money.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what you're drawing. You're drawing my inevitable fate. I mean, at some point, like I said, at some point we're going to be at a convention together, and I know you're going to take me down. If I try to run, you're more well liked than I am. You'll get some of the really brawny.
My West Side Story clique, behind me. So
yeah. I won't have any choice. Right. They'll let you shake me down because you're more intimidating than they are. But that all said, they'll make sure I can't run away.
Yeah,
can't run. Mm-hmm. You must give her the lunch money. It's like yes, I must. But yeah, but I'm gonna warn you, it will be Canadian. I'm gonna do that because that will be hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, it will be Canadian money. I will give you loonies and toonies.
Loonies and toonies.
That's right.
We should cool names for ours.
Well, so see, this is one of the few things I do think you guys do better. I like the fact that your money is still dollar bills. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Although coins are cool, they are heavy.
Heavy, yeah.
They are heavy.
Why no bills?
Right. We have bills from $5 up.
But
I guess resource saved. I don't know. Somebody smarter than me, somebody that got paid way more money than I did, made that decision. Now, maybe I want their drugs. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't. See, when you have a situation you don't understand, that you only conclude came from some kind of influence. Do you really want to know what that influence is to partake or to avoid? That's a hard question, right? Yeah. Do I really want to understand this or don't I? But I know in 1987 the dollar bill became a loonie, and in the mid 90s or early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, we got the toonie. And besides the fact that our dollar looks kind of our toonie looks like a New Zealand coin as well, which is really neat and interesting and a little frightening. Somebody else had the same idea somewhere, which is, kind of traumatic, actually. Wait, you have this idea too? That's the one thing I do like about American currency. It's actually bills. Bills are nice. Bills don't break pockets. That all said, now if you take my lunch money there, you will get the satisfying sound effect of loonies and toonies hitting the ground.
That is true.
You're right. That there's something visceral about that, right? So
yeah.
And people watching this are like, what the hell? It's like you're okay with being this, it's an inside joke, guys. We've been doing this for years.
We're just mapping out the way I'm gonna just steal all his lunch money. So
yeah. I also get the feeling even if she did, she'd let me still have a bite of something here.
I would let you at least eat that day, but
yeah. That's awesome. So, so of the collaborations you've done, which one did you learn the most from?
I would say certainly working with Heather Antos as our editor on Hope. She, obviously is pretty well known in her field, and she knows her shit. And she came at me swinging on that one issue, and I learned a lot from her. I love her to death. She's an amazing person, very skilled, very talented, and we had a panel together and we were talking about it. And I said, I'm like, oh, I hated her at first. And she goes, I knew it. And I'm like, yeah, I did. I honestly was just like, who the heck is this girl? Why is she telling me all of everything that's wrong with my issue? But then I to this day, with For Goodness Sake, I use a lot of what she taught me, especially with lettering. So yeah, I would say Heather Antos for sure taught me a lot in that aspect.
So Miss Heather, if you are watching or listening to this somehow, well, thank you. Actually, when we get pushed, it's because they see how good you really can be, and she probably forced like, hey, this you were doing, you can do better than this.
Yes.
All right. You can do better. I'm holding you to a higher standard. And you're like, why are you holding me to this high standard?
Yeah.
What did I ever do to you?
How dare you? No, it was definitely eye-opening. And I really appreciate it. And I think, as artists, we all are, with critics, and we take criticism to heart, and we're just so sensitive. But no, it's I think we all need our asses kicked a little bit here and there. So.
Listen, our shit's no.
They're so long.
Yeah. Our shit stinks. It just does sometimes, right? And yeah, I know my hair is long.
Oh yeah.
I know. I decided to grow it out. I decided to grow it out during the pandemic.
Yeah. So lucky. It's so just wavy and everywhere. I love it.
Yeah. I have hair. I mean, I don't know if I'll have my hair when I'm 50, but I'm 40 and I still got it. So
yeah, I did the whole quarantine bangs thing. So I think every girl has experienced that this year.
It's awkward now because now it's starting to get in the way of everything.
So yeah,
it gets awkward now.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it. And then I know there's guys like in their like mid-30s going, shut up, man. At least you've got hair. It's like, yeah, I know. It's a curse.
Yeah.
It's a curse to be beautiful. What can I say? It's true. It's true. But well, I do need colors. Do you want to see what I've done so far?
Yeah.
Okay, here. Let me take center stage here for just a second. So, this is my first attempt at porn stash jump cage.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It works, right? He's the one character in Mortal Kombat that works in. Like that completely works in. I couldn't do it with anybody else because
yeah.
But I mean, you can see it, can't you?
Yep. Yeah, it works. It works for him. That's hilarious.
Yeah, just like that. Like that's. I saw it's like, wait, he's just enough of an asshole that this works. Doesn't work with everybody else.
Yeah.
But I do wish I had some color. I might have to go get some colored like stuff tomorrow. Like inks, like okay, so I finally like I'm starting to play with inks now. Right? Nice. Oh my god, I can do hair now. So hard to do hair with just pencil.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. I actually really enjoy the ink part of traditional drawing. Just I don't know. It's bringing it to life. It's pretty cool.
That it adds another dimension to it without actually. It creates a very good illusion. Right. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just lightly shade the ink like the jacket arms. So it might make that way I don't overlap anything else I've done. So people can say, okay, he's got a suit. Yeah, he's got the suit. He's got the suit, and How does he look so douchey? Because it's Johnny Cage. It doesn't work with Liu Kang. It doesn't work with Kung Lao. It doesn't work. But with Johnny, oh yeah, it works. You can make Johnny every kind of douchebag you want, and it works. It totally works. So.
You can be a douchebag if you have the confidence, right?
Yeah, it takes a certain degree of confidence and blind lack of self-awareness. It takes a weird, like, I could be a confident guy, but I'm not so confident to the fact like, hey, I can be an asshole. Like I'm aware of this personality trait, right? Now, I'll use it to my advantage sometimes. So I'm not being by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. But I am aware that I have some qualities that I need to work on.
We've all learned that of ourselves in this year.
What?
We've all learned that lesson this year.
Yes.
That there's some things we all need to work on.
Yes. Okay. Some of us need to be a little bit more sensitive, and some of us just need to be blatantly more aware. So for trying here, I'm gonna go back because I did so. I need some expert advice because I don't know what I'm doing. So problem I have is I don't want to kill his cufflinks because right.
Okay.
Right. So do I try to darken the sleeves a little bit more, or do I leave it kind of like that shade of gray?
So if you darken the sleeves, you're going to lose the cufflinks. Is that what your problem?
Yeah. I'm a little worried about that. But I don't have a good solution to that.
Yeah, I would just keep it gray for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So next one I do the better version of it, or quote unquote the douchier version of it. Just keep a shade of gray.
Yeah. Douchier version of it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I haven't shown you the big finish. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have him like do like an autograph, like to my biggest fan, Johnny.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Hey, listen, I tell stories too. I'm not to the degree of skill, but I do have an idea, right? So, do I want to make, how big of a douchebag do I make Johnny? Does he actually misspell? Oh, that'd be great. What if he like misspelled like biggest?
Like, how would he misspell that?
He's an actor. I mean, you can do like the old bad actor joke, right? It's the old bad. You subtly put it in, like So now, Friends as a show does not age very well. It just doesn't.
No.
However, the guy that played Joey, Matt LeBlanc, he's a great actor. He played a bad actor.
Yes.
To the hilt.
Yes.
And I'm like, so what do you hate about actors and actresses that are just terrible? Well, they're obnoxious. Again, ironically, the douchebag gene seems to travel.
Yeah.
It seems to travel. And oh my god, that I think I figured out how to do. I think I figured out Johnny Cage. I figured out how to bring out. So if I want to make him a bad actor, make him completely oblivious to everything he's doing, right? So even his spelling is terrible. Like everything is just terrible. Even the autograph is just bad, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a terrible. Again, I think like when I hold on a second here. Oh my god. All right, there you go. So a buddy of mine, William K. Holland, loves your latest work with Scoot Comics, a division of Scout Comics.
Yeah, that's one of the projects I'm working on this year. Don Hanfield, he's one of the writers, and yeah, it's been a blast. It's a great script.
Yeah.
Very.
So, okay. So I have Johnny Rough nailed down. So today I'll try to do Johnny Good, which is just gray, horrible tuxedo. He misspells everything.
Yeah.
Just everything is just misspelled. To my biggest fan, Johnny Cage. It's just like people will look at that and be like, "This is so douchey." It's like, yeah, yes, it is.
Yeah, in his head, it's all misspelled. It's garbage. Like the signature is just garbage, and he's like, that is probably the best thing that person's ever gotten.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, I've seen comic creators with similar attitudes too. It's
Yeah,
weird. It's
yeah,
weird. It's weird when you see that. It's like, especially since when I realized, like, ultimately, the truly humble path about what we all do is we're all telling stories at different, no matter where we're at on the ladder. And like, I met Kevin Eastman's such a cool dude. Like, he's so like chill. I met him. I talked to him for like, this is my fanboy man. I talked to him for all of 30 seconds in an autograph booth. He's the only guy I've ever done that where I'm going to go in an autograph booth and wait 30 minutes to meet him because it's freaking Kevin Eastman.
yeah.
Right. That I don't do that very often for too many people, but I did it for him. Such a chill guy, like very, very happy just to be where he's at. Right.
Yeah.
That's what you want in creatives. You don't want there was one individual I met and it was like, wow, you're not even talking to me. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine, getting to that point in your life where you think you're just better than everyone. You're just creating stuff. Like, not even just comic creators as well, but like, I love David Tennant, and not just for his work, because he has amazing work behind him, but he's such a humble person and so sweet. And I've met him. I've met him at a convention, and he's just so down to earth and nice. And if you think you're all that in a bag of chips, then I hate you. Immediately, I hate you.
It's like, oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah. I for sure, like, I'm that type of person that, like, I love behind the scenes stuff, and I'll like dig into whoever's involved, like the actors or voice actors or whatever. And if I find out that you're a garbage person, I will not watch or listen to your creations or read your creations. Like, I don't know, I'm big on who you are, true, like, as a person.
So yeah, I'm in a weird space with that right now because I haven't quite figured out how to do it with one particular creative. Miss J.K. Rowling.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I think, yeah.
Because
with that franchise, like, I feel like it's transcended past her. The property, Harry Potter, it's bigger than her. It's taken on its life of its own. So I feel like you can enjoy that series without.
But it made me think about this a lot, actually. Like, but because obviously there are some creative people I know that I'm not a fan of how they treat people personally. I'm just not a big fan of it. But their work is undeniably good, and some of it has made a very positive impact in my life. So it's a weird one. Like okay, so I'm a big Dr. Seuss fan. He certainly wasn't an angel. Like he definitely had his flaws. Now, I don't know if I asked you this last time. I'll ask you this way. So I have an argument that Dr. Seuss is one of the 3 greatest graphic novelists of all time. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like it's a name that everyone knows, that everyone, well, I mean, our generation definitely grew up with. I guess, the argument, people are going to say, well, it's not the best artwork or anything out there, but it's great stories, and you remember it, and it sticks with you, and it's a recognizable name. So yeah, I would say that's correct.
Yeah, so my 3 are Jack Kirby.
Okay.
Jack Kirby, Will Eisner, Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
Those are my three.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be on the main. I shouldn't be on the main screen. What you're doing should be on the main screen. My bad. Got caught up with my own little like happy world of what I'm doing here. Douchebag Johnny Cage is kind of a once in a lifetime. Well, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Like I'm worried. Like I said, this is like my third month drawing, so it's like, yeah. So I'm just
That's
having.
Awesome. It's only 3 months. You said.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big hurdle is just enjoying it.
Well, yeah, no, just like here's the thing, and this is how I've learned this. We'll go back to the celebrity conversation in a second, but this is the thing. Drawing a pretty picture is actually not the important thing. The important thing is, can you tell a story with what you're doing?
Yes.
If you can do that, it really doesn't matter how good you are.
Mm-hmm.
Although, and I say that with a very loose caveat, you should still be striving to be as good as you can. But you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's something I've learned too with, finishing up For Goodness Sake. It's probably the fastest I've ever finished a story. Obviously because of quarantine and because, you learn that it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you are expressing what you need to express and telling the story that you need to tell, then move on. It doesn't have to be, every line does not have to be in place. And
in fact, it's actually probably a little bit more realer, ironically enough, when it's not.
Yeah, and there's more movement in there
too,
when you are not, putting every line in place. So it's definitely a lesson I've learned for sure.
Yeah, so I've been focusing on just trying to be as expressive as I possibly can, because that I feel was going to score me more points in the long run. I don't necessarily have to have the best. Now, at some point, I'm going to have to tackle anatomy seriously. And that's I think a part of me getting really good, or at least how to put this, consciously, either somewhere between consciously incompetent or consciously competent. It's somewhere depending on your point of view, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, at cons, you always get the person that says, well, I wish I could draw, but I can't even draw a stick figure. A lot of people make good money on drawing stick figures. So it's really honestly the story you want to tell and style-wise and what you want to stick with. And don't ever sell yourself short as an artist. You can create, like you said, you can create as long as you're creating a story, if you're getting your point across.
Yeah, people get it. That's right. That's why you laughed at porn stash Johnny Cage. Because the story I'm telling there is hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Because Johnny Cage really is that guy. He really can be that guy. So, I actually not biggest, greatest. Use to my greatest fan, but spell greatest as in like great, as in like grating on me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. It's got some meaning in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like one of those like I think I can do it. And people listening to me right now are going like, what the hell? It's like it's like but yeah, it's about having fun. It's not about, like I said, so this might sound the most like the weirdest thing about this whole thing, and this actually helped me with my writing as well. I stopped worrying about being good. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You when you're trying to be good, you're in your head and you're not creating, you need to step back and just get it out. Mm-hmm. Finish it. And then you can worry about whether it being good or not.
Yeah.
While you're creating it, you need to just buckle down, get it done.
Yeah.
So, I agree.
Yeah, it's like I stopped worrying about it. That held me back for years, right? Was I like, I'm not good at this. And then I
practice too.
Yeah.
Obviously. It's gonna change over time. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna, like I said, I've been worried about expression the most because honestly, to me, that feels that's the key. It's not really, again, it's not about your style, whatever that style is. It's how you express emotion. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's true. Like when you tell like write stories as
Mm-hmm.
well. If that makes sense. Like I just like it's the same thing. You're just trying to emit emotions. You can do that. You can do. Oh, I made the good.
Yeah, speaking of emotions, are you looking crazy enough?
Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking here. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking. It's incredible. Like honestly, you're incredible at this.
Trying to get that crazy expression.
He's like, help me. Oh, that's amazing. Like you're like I cannot emphasize like I actually, you know what really amazes me? You use a very subdued color style. Like it's not as like you can go bright and but you usually you use light to tell your stories very much as well. And I've noticed that with you in that the like you can do bright, but you keep things almost subdued. So when you do brighten up something, it pops a little bit more. Like you don't use right. Is that deliberate?
I don't. Yeah, well, especially with Plume, I definitely wanted to do a certain color palette with that. With the sepia tones and the little like just faded colors for the Western genre. But yeah, it was kind of like a habit I couldn't break out of. For goodness sake, I try to go a little brighter in my palette, but I found that I naturally fell into a little more subdued in that one as well. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I try to experiment, but then you just fall into the old habits,
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. So I gotta make his shade lenses obnoxiously bigger. The bigger they are.
Oh, here, let me see.
So this is what I'm on version 2 here. Give me a second here. I'm just getting started. Like surprise. Here's the other thing I've learned. Mortal Kombat's surprisingly a lot harder to draw than I thought it would be. But this is where to start. Like working on it, the basic.
Yes. Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
Enough expression on that. That is great.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all about expression, right? It's all about expression, right? So what I'm doing is I'm making his glasses bigger because, again, obnoxious shades. So I remember one of my favorite pro wrestlers was a guy by the name of Christian. He would, when he was a part of the tag team with his buddy, he just wore these most obnoxious shades you ever could. It's like, oh my God, you look so douchey. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, and I realized that with Johnny Cage, because of just how over the top he is, it's not that different really. He naturally lends himself to that thought or that style. So I'm like, okay, why fight it? Just go with it. Go as over the top on Cage as you want because it will work because it's Johnny Cage. Again, couldn't do this with Liu Kang. Couldn't do this with Kung Lao. You can do a little bit more than Liu Kang, but Liu Kang you gotta kind of be very straight laced. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So, watching this, and I'm sure people are watching me going, like, yeah, it's like you're doing this and you're doing this and it's like, yeah, just because it's fun and like I said, choose your champion, Johnny Cage, because if you're gonna go all in on his personality, that's how you do it. That is yeah. You just go in. You embrace the obnoxiousness and the lack of self-awareness that he has.
This expression is cracking me up.
Yes. But hey, at least I know what I was going for worked.
Yeah.
If I can crack you up, I can crack everybody else up with this too. Which is the idea. Okay, you have a heck of a sense of humor.
I try.
You try.
Blame my father. Blame my father for that.
That's okay. You have a wicked sense of humor, and I say that in a good way. So, telling stories that are a little bit comical in places. I mean, you have a good sense of gravity as well. Plume definitely shows that, especially when you get to the end of it. But you definitely have fun with your stuff too. And so, what's the hardest emotion for you?
Oh goodness. I don't know, because I don't know what this says about me, but I love drawing a character that's just absolutely like out of their mind sad. Like I love drawing pink eyes with welling tears and tear tracks and stuff. I don't know why, but I love it. And then I love angry expressions, having the mouth all the way open, the teeth, and
Is it the extremity of it?
I see. I was gonna say the subtle emotions are probably the harder, but then again, no, it's not. Like I enjoy the very subtle shift in expression too.
You're good at that.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
Yeah. See, I don't take myself very seriously. I think it tends to reflect in my work. I could be wrong, but I think it reflects in my work. I have a certain whimsy to it. Oh, mm-hmm. I'm the main focus again. I shouldn't be the main focus. There you go. there you go.
I don't know if I should add color to it or not. Kind of like it all grayscale.
Yeah, it's your
crazy eyes. I love it.
Yeah, fearful. The crazy fearful thing.
Yeah, I'll just doodle while we keep talking.
Yeah, right. Like I'm having fun, so I mean, let me know when you have actually been an adult.
Yeah.
Till then, you're more than welcome to hang out with me. I'll try. How about we go? Like we'll see my second version of douchebag Johnny Cage.
Okay.
And then you tell me which one you like better, and why, and you give me some pointers on that.
Okay.
Does that work? Just, you know what you're doing. I'm still figuring this out.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna draw an angry face. Is what I'm gonna draw.
Okay. That's right.
But yeah, I just I don't know. It's I love expressions. I love just stretching the character as far as they can go and playing with it.
So I'm gonna ask another wonderful hard question. We talked about you, the illustrator, the penciler, but you're also a writer. You write stuff too.
Oh yeah.
You're right. So, which your more comfortable medium, writing or drawing?
Yeah, I've had this question before, and I struggled with it because they were like, if you could only do one for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
No, I never would ask you that. I wouldn't ask you that question. That question's a storytelling is storytelling, and it's a false question. I feel like it's a false thing because honestly, one of the things this is probably the biggest thing I've learned about what I do is that it's all on one very fundamental level. Everything we're doing here is the same thing on one very fundamental level. And that is we're telling a story. We're telling a story that fundamentally that hopefully can evoke an emotional reaction. And whether you're writing, whether you're playing a video game, whether you're playing even a board game can do it too, depending on the right board game. There are some really good board games that tell great stories while you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't matter what the medium is. You're telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I kind of look at like writing and drawing as like two different languages, right? About the how you compose it is different. How you execute it is different. The vowels aren't the same. The consonants mean different things. And both curse in very, very different, wonderfully wicked ways. But ultimately, they're both trying to tell a story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one's a language. So for you, what is the language? I feel like you got the penciling thing, if not nailed down fully, because I know how false that is as well. I'm not going to fall into that trap, but you're very good at what you do. So I was just wondering which one was your language to start with, and which one are you most comfortable with now?
I've had a number of people say that I am a shower, not a teller. So I definitely have more of a visual language. Like the quarantine, I've definitely got more into interior decorating. Like this house, this poor house has been renovated and reorganized 10 times over. And I have painted every wall in this house. I don't even want to tell you how many times I painted the living room wall alone. So yes, I standing here trying to explain to my husband what I want to do with a room, and I'm like, words are failing. I'm like, I'm just gonna Photoshop it out for you. So I'm a shower, not a teller. However, I love telling stories. Love it. I've been writing ever since I could remember. Like that's how my best friend and I, growing up, we got closer. As we just passed notebooks back and forth, writing each other stories. And so yeah, telling a story through visuals, it's been my language. So yeah.
That's cool.
Does that answer your question?
Because now I'm going to ask another difficult one now.
Oh boy. Okay.
So when you create a comic book, when you get to the writing, is that difficult for you? Because now you have to actually explain your shit.
No, actually, it's not. And I know, writing for myself, I certainly take shorthands. I don't write out like a normal comic script where it would have, the panel, how the panels will look, setup wise, composition, close up, wide shot, establishing shot, all that. I don't even do that for myself. It's literally me writing the scene out, and it's dialogue based when I'm writing for myself. So actually, it's really easy. I've been trying to write a novel for years now, and I'm like, I think 75 pages in. However, it has been for a long time that I've been writing on this thing. With a comic script, I can just sit down and just bang it out, and it's done. I don't know. I guess after all the years of working in this industry, my brain is wired to write out comics now. So yeah, I find it very easy, actually. The hard part for me is when I'm thumbnailing it out and translating that script, I say, but dialogue into composition, and like reading it over and over when it's all laid out, like reading it over and trying to get a feel for how it flows. I think that's the worst part for me, is when writing meets art. So yeah.
Because they each have reference right here. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2.
Yes. Oh wait, other side. There you go. There you go. Oh, that's awesome. Yes. That the pull up of the one like side of the yeah, very, very cocky. Yeah.
Love it. Very cocky, over the top. He would pull the stabs off perfectly. Yeah. Right? He would do it. Like nobody else in Mortal Kombat could do that. Nobody else. I couldn't do that with, right? But it was like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be Johnny Cage, because I could at least make Johnny fun. Because Johnny, you can put him in that position. He is just the right temperament for it. So it's knowing how your characters work. So Would you like a suggestion for your novel writing? A really interesting suggestion.
Sure.
Why don't you just dialogue your whole novel out?
I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just dialogue it the whole thing out because
Yeah.
it sounds to me it's the language. So you know this like with drawing, it's as much as what you don't show, right? That tells the whole story, right?
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna probably take another couple cracks at Johnny, but I'm gonna keep that one-sided smile. I'm gonna keep that like maybe make the shades bigger and a couple little things to make it as obnoxious as I can before tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The story I'm telling there, right, is without saying a word, you can tell which way he kind of like you can tell which way he kind of plays well with others, right? Just
Right.
like you just tell looking at him. I'm showing you, not telling you how to react to him.
Hmm.
Writing is the same way. You have to be very careful with what you say and what you don't. You don't want to tell the audience what they're supposed to feel. You want to show them.
Exactly.
Right? So with pictures, it's easy. You just draw a picture. You make his lip go up a little bit, and you can just like, wow, you are an asshole. I don't even know you, and you are an asshole, right? If you go the other way, it's like, oh, why are you so sad? Something wrong? Are you okay, bud? Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's such a fine line. But again, told a story, not even trying, right? Just with just a few lines on the page and an obnoxious mustache, and there you go. That I learned from, of all things, Lego. So
Thanks, Lego.
that's right.
Oh.
Oh man, hold on here. I'm gonna be a kid for a second here. I'm going to get myself a drink as well because I am with someone I respect the heck out of, and
I'll get the crazy face back.
okay, crazy face back. Okay, so that I'm honest impressed like how much that's awesome. Like it's wow. Um, No, I always say this when I do this show. I am genuinely flattered. Like again, you're someone as skilled as you who said, "Hey, you want to come draw with me?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come draw with you." It's like that's like genuinely a very flattering thing. So thank you very much for coming and
Yeah.
doing this. Here's to somebody to somebody. Continued success. You're an inspiration to a lot of people. Whether you know this or not, and you should just and keep going along the path wherever it takes you. And maybe someday I'll look at see Plume as a movie somewhere or a television show somewhere, or maybe for goodness sake, maybe it's something else you have cooking in your brain that you can't tell the world yet because you're still working on it yourself. But whatever it is, you work very hard for your success, and you deserve everything you get. And hopefully, keeps more good things keep coming your way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's do a couple more things. We're gonna talk a little bit more and then wrap this bad boy up because I think
Sure.
it's gonna be pretty hard to top what I did with Johnny Cage, and what you did there was absolutely incredible with my picture of lunch money. That's lunch money at like the next con. I don't know. It's so post-pandemic when we're doing conventions again, they'll probably be smaller to start, but they'll get. I think again over time it'll go back to what it was before, or if not better. So do you have like for me? I have this like zest to travel now a lot more because now I just realized that life is long on possibility but short on time. So now I'm like what I'm going to do eventually with the show is I'm going to get like a mystery machine van, like literally a mystery like a thing. I'm going to give you like I'll stop by and like where you're at. I'll be like, so can I come over and like can we actually drink for real and draw for real and I can interview you on the air? Like I'll be the adult, I guess.
Giant satellite on top of the van and all that.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, you hit it right on the nail. The zest for travel has never been stronger for me. Like I miss the traveling for conventions, but not only that, I miss just traveling. And thank God we went to Ireland when we did, because we went in 2018. Sorry, 2019, right?
I don't know.
What is time? What is time anymore? But yeah, we went right before everything just hit, and thank God for that, because yeah, it was such a great trip. But I miss it, and I just miss seeing people in person.
So when basically we're all, when they say the pandemic is over and all that other fun stuff, like, are you like gonna like ninjutsu the heck back to Ireland? And you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna disappear for a while. I'm gonna just like, I might come back eventually.
It's tempting. It really is. We had a trip planned for Iceland.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was in 2020, and so I think our first destination will be Iceland. Almost guarantee it. But just, yeah, I mean, I got to see some national parks in 2020. So we did some safe traveling there, but it wasn't enough. Like I just
No, so like I said, so that's my goal for the end of this year. The Mystery Machine. I'm traveling. I'm just going to hang out. Because I'm still single and relatively free, I can literally go like, I can go anywhere I want. I don't need anything really.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting freedom. It's like, you know what, I'm going to enjoy it and explore it in the next few years, because I recognize that, I'm 39, and it's like that's young enough to still enjoy all the crazy that is life, but getting to the point where it's like, you know what, that fishing port beach that you always wanted to go to, you're gonna have to figure out how to get there soon, so that you can enjoy your life for your remaining years, and be gently turned down by women, by pretty women for the rest of your life. That's always good too. I mean, that's fun.
That's our goal. That's everyone's goal, right?
Hey, listen. You might as well. I saw William Shatner on the blooper, right? And he was like, he's older, like he's in the 70s. It's like, I remember when they would say, "Oh, Bill," is so differently back when I was younger. It was just something just a weirdly off joke. And it's like, yeah, you know what, that we all are going to get there at some point.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, I missed that. Let's have, like, life's short. Like life's short on time. So you gotta figure out all the important things for you. So for you, it's travel. So, okay. Besides, obviously, hey, how do you unwind? Like, how do you actually unwind?
God, I watch Hulu. I watch Netflix. I just find a series. I actually have found that I return to rewatching shows more often than I find, discovering new shows, because there's a comfort there. You know what's going to happen. It's a familiar thing, nostalgia and all that. So I just watch Schitt's Creek or Parks and Rec or The Office, like something like that I just...
American Office or Britain Office?
The American Office.
That's good. Yeah. So it's good, but it's not as good.
The British one is much better.
It's smarter. It's smart.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on. British versus American. Yeah, it's going to be smarter.
well, here's the thing. Like so for me, so my comfort shows have been Deep Space Nine. Brilliant show. Even now, it holds up incredibly well. I can't say that with other Star Treks, but that one's like, you still hold up. Damn. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So there's that one. I've been going to Japanese anime. There's something about like terrible battle anime that just makes me go like, oh, escape there.
Yeah.
I can see why I can do porn stats. Like the more I talk to you, the more I realize like I am really just a silly person. Just when you get right down to it, I'm actually a very silly person.
Next time I see you, you're gonna have a porn stash yourself, right?
Actually, hilarious. You want to hear a truly hilarious story? Just because it was it. So I was living with one of my best friends, and I decided, like, you know what? I haven't actually seen myself in a mustache, so I grew it out. Just I wanted to see it because I hadn't done it. Right? I had the goatee for so long. I was like, you know what? Let's just get rid of the goatee. Let's do the mustache. He got pissed off. I had it on the mustache. Yeah, no, really. Like it was like I did nothing. It was just like it's just a mustache.
It's just hair out of your face.
Yeah, that's it, right? It was just like I looked at that, like really, like the reaction I got was like, I don't know, like for me, it's like I don't know, like I don't think I grow it. Like I said, it's just I think my fashion I will probably get into something even sillier, like as I go on down the line. Like you've seen my art style. I'm getting good at this expressive. I'm starting to get like the expressive stuff nailed down, right? I'm probably going to get more exaggerated. I don't think I'll ever do the sneers the way you do. Like you are the master of like the scowly. Like that is a work of art. I will not even dream of coming close to that. But I have become sillier. Like I give far less of a shit now than I did when I was younger, and I'm terrified what I'm going to be like even just a couple of years because I feel like
what's the beauty of getting older? It's just not getting.
Yeah, you just don't because you don't have time.
Yeah,
like you realize like the one thing going full circle here. This has been a really interesting pause in history. But I'm really like the one lesson I really am truly hoping people do get out of this time. Not a lot of shit really matters. Like honestly, there's not a lot that does. Right? It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor. It doesn't matter who the political leaders are. They don't know your name. They don't care, and they never will. So don't. I mean, it's not something you should really dwell upon too much. I mean, what people believe essentially. I mean, we either believe there's a God and that everybody like believe in God and love one another, or just love one another. Right? I mean, when you get right down to it, like we break all the nitty gritty. That's it. Like, be kind to each other and try not to be a dick, and believe what you're gonna believe. Cool, whatever, right? Like that's what it comes down to. You know, try not to hurt yourself too much, and be around people you love and do things you love. Because honestly, like I don't know about you, I secretly hope there's no reincarnation because that would be hell. That would truly be hell.
Well, I've done my time. All right.
Exactly. That's it. There is something next. I want to see what's next. I don't want to come back, right? As much as I have loved every person I've met and things I've done, I don't want to come back. I want to move on to whatever is next, right? Now, I have a belief of how that is. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm right. I'm a big enough man to acknowledge that the world is bigger than how I imagine it to be. I certainly do not understand how the world works. In fact, the older I get, the more I realize how little I truly do understand. So for me, I just like, okay, am I doing what I love? Am I with people I love? And if the answer is no to both, find those people. Number one and number two, find those people, do those things. And number three, you know, embrace the possibilities of what may happen. And really, nothing else really fucking matters. I don't really know what else does. If you got something to add, let me know. But I think that's...
Yeah, no, 1,000% I agree with you. Because, like, yeah, what I said earlier about, you know, 2020 and this 2021 really proving to you what really matters. What would piss me off 2 years ago would not piss me off now. Like, it's just matter. Like there are bigger problems at play, and you know, perspective, and surround yourself with positivity, with people that you love, and fuck everyone else. Sorry, Uh,
No,
I
it's
don't know your policy of swearing.
no. Listen. I'm the adult here. God help us all.
I'm
Here.
Keep drinking my drink.
Yeah, I'm drinking. You're the adult. Oh God.
Look at how fancy this sippy cup is. I mean, come on.
I got a shot glass. See there? I got a shot glass.
That is one big shot glass, though. That is it.
Hey, listen. I'm good with this. This is like I said. I'm Canadian. True story. It's a true story. If you want to get yourself access to the really good booze on a trip, say you're Canadian. You can pull it off. How do I put this so delicately? Your craft beers are great. Your hard booze is great. Your beer sucks. Like really epically sucks.
Really?
I don't even get a buzz. I get bloated with your beer. I don't even get a buzz with it. It bothers me on like a fundamental level. You have a lot of this because you even have a ton of this stuff. Like, what do you like? Who came up with this like watered down? Like, it's depressing.
Yeah. It's water. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I gotta say it.
That's why I'm drinking Captain Morgan here. Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's like your hard beers. There's nothing wrong with your hard liquor. Your craft beers are some of them are really amazing. You have some creative people down there that do some really good things. But your mainline stuff is like, God, just terrible.
I know, man. I know. Point it out.
You say big shot glasses, like I said. That's why I'm giving you like a tip. Like, hide the fact that you're American on a trip, and they'll give you the good stuff. Because sometimes they don't. Actually, I can say this honestly, unless you're like from like Texas or like some of the really like most of you just don't like I've seen this so where you'll go on a cruise ship, you'll be like, okay, what are you? Canadian. You'll see the bartender go from this like whatever the hell he had. He'll go, okay, I'm gonna pull this out. I'm gonna put more of this in there, right? Oh no, yeah, I'm not kidding. Like I am not kidding. I am truly not kidding.
Do I like apologize a lot and then just say
well, see, you don't really like. So you're in the northern states. So the beautiful thing about you is your accent is not as pronounced. Mm-hmm. Like the Americans do have an accent with how they talk, and it took me a long time to figure it out because I was in Michigan, Ontario, my whole where I grew up. So my family was. You sound like an American. It's like I don't know the differences. But as I got older, I finally recognized it. Right. So you just be polite. Just say you're Canadian, and you could probably pull it off. All right, you can pull it off. They'll be like, hey, listen, you're Canadian. Okay, we're not gonna give you this. We're gonna go from this to this. It'll be from this to this, or it'll be like.
All right.
Apparently, there's a bar in Ireland, I've heard, where they will actually scan your passport, and if it's like a certain nationalities, you actually get access to better booze.
Are you serious?
Yes.
How do I get my hands on a Canadian passport? Oh, I see you saying that. Like I miss the Irish pubs.
No. I'm bringing this up because this is just a fun. I don't know if this is a buddy of mine. I knew he told me the story. It sounds preposterous enough to be true.
Yeah.
See, Canadians, Australians, and Germans, they can drink. All of us can drink.
I'm German. Yeah. I've got a percentage German.
Okay, so. I have German in me, so I have a German and Maltese in me. So that Maltese, by default, I have everything in me because everybody's conquered Malta. Yeah, everybody. It's true. I don't deny it. But I also have German in me. So I have on one hand I am literally the invader of the island of like depending on which side of the fence you are. I'm both the conquered and the conqueror, depending on where you are on history. So I can hold my liquor and I can swear in Arabic. So I mean that's
yeah.
That's pretty much it, right? So yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's just depressing when I like sometimes going to one of your bars is depressing. Like it's really like just like give me water, just give me water. I'll be happier with this. I told this so bad. I told the story so badly once, so badly, so goodly. So depending on how you look at that, that actually I went to a beer store up here. They actually gave me free beer because it was just like they were like, that's
oh, you poor baby. Wow.
See, that's good, right? Guinness, good stuff.
I'm gonna practice my sob story of
Yeah, you have to like my beer sucks. It's so like you can honestly say like there's a lot of good things about the United States. I know that it doesn't get advertised enough. There are good things there, right? I mean, your leaders are a little insane. A lot of like little like there is that, but creative people, some of the nicest people I've actually met have come there. A lot of you just want to make a good difference in the world. You just, again, your leaders are insane. That's really your problem. And you also have the wherewithal and the smarts. This is where you're better than us. You've created a niche for yourself down there, and it's easier for you to do that because the opportunities down there to do that are greater than they are here. That is something I really do admire. I learned that when I was in Arizona, because in Arizona they're like, oh, you do stuff, cool, show me, and then just like they go for it, right? Where here it's like, I do stuff, but don't tell anybody. Right? No. Like the honestly downfall of Canadians, and I'll say is like they're some of the most talented people in the world, but they don't believe it. It's actually like it's the I think it's the fact that we're so isolated and we're a little. I mean, you've talked to me for over an hour. You know, I'm a little.
Well, you can say the same about Americans, but yeah, Americans definitely have the arrogance.
That works for you sometimes. It's not always a bad thing, right? It's not always a bad
beer mentality that we have, and sometimes it doesn't work, and rarely it does. So, I mean, on the off chance that it works, hold my beer. So, yeah.
Don't make me laugh.
That's awful timing.
No, it's like, no, don't do that. That all said, I do know this. I do look forward to the day I do get to meet you in person. I think you're a wonderful human being. I think honestly, you're incredibly talented. I think, again, you've deserved everything you've had, and I mean that like wholeheartedly. I truly do believe that. So you got a Kickstarter coming up literally in like 14 days. You should probably tell people about that because it's awesome.
Yeah. Third volume, final volume, for goodness sake. So, and I'll have the first and second volume available as well on the Kickstarter, so you can get the whole shabam. Yeah. So March 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Yes, I had to think about it because where are we right now? But yes, Eastern. So yes, God, I've had a lot to drink. Okay.
No. Listen. Here. I really don't judge. I can't wait. If I do get to, I really hope I get to meet you in person someday. I think that's gonna be awesome. Yes, you're probably gonna have some loonies and toonies. You're gonna have to figure out what to do with that.
We need to stage a photo where I'm holding your ankles and I'm just shaking you free of your lunch.
Straight up, seriously, if we figure out how to do that, that's going to be my author bio. Like seriously, that will be my author bio. Like that would actually figure out how to.
Done.
Yeah, done. No, we got to figure it out. We got to figure out how to do that safely because I don't want to get hurt. And
how's your upper?
I'm okay. Like I don't look it necessarily, but I worked at like a warehouse for like 10 years. I've lifted thousands of pounds. I'm pretty strong, but not. I don't look it. I look like this wiry like dude with a little bit of a belly because it's COVID, little belly, but that's okay.
Like roughly 5 seconds to stage the photo with you on your handstand, like.
Yeah, we could totally do it. Yeah, we just need to make sure somebody's in the background. That way we're like, because because honestly, it would look even better if it looked like you were about to drop me as you were doing it too, right? It would look even better.
Yeah.
Because if it would look realer, right? It would look realer. Like, God damn you! Right? That'd be amazing.
We'll edit it, blood, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no blood. Although, black eye would be like that would add to it just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I realize, folks, we are talking about staging my own beatdown. It's okay. That's like
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. Right? What happened? And everybody that's going to ask was like, what happened? I fell down the stairs. I fell down the stairs.
Just a horrible accident.
That's right. It had nothing to do with Kaylin Smith. Why does she have your wallet?
No. My Louis.
I don't want her to come back. I mean, I don't want to meet the stairs again.
My shoes are so slippy.
Yes. Oh my God. I get the feeling we get along just fine. I think we get along just fine in person. So I get that feeling. So for goodness sake, actually, I should ask this before I go. Why is this the final volume? Is it like you've told your story, or is it like?
Yeah. Truthfully, I wanted it to be longer. So we had renovated a school bus, actually, because there's a school bus in the story that is renovated into an RV, like a full-time RV. And we were going to do that in real life, and we were going to travel around the US and base the comic around the different locations that we landed in. However, quarantine happened the exact moment when I launched this Kickstarter. So, or this comic. So yeah, that didn't happen. So I definitely cut out a lot of the chunk that I wanted to do with the story, but I'm still very proud of it. I'm still super pleased where it landed plot wise. So yeah, it's time. So yeah, 3 volumes, and she's complete.
March 10th.
March 10th. Yep.
Yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit after this, but so, and for anyone that wants to find Kaylin Smith, how would they do so?
Go to kaylinsmith.net, and you can find all my social media through there, and my portfolio, commissions, all that jazz, all through there. So kaylinsmith.net.
And ladies and gentlemen, I had a blast tonight with Kaylin. As you can see, I again, it's not hard to see. I am a fan of her as both a person and a creative. I have had the pleasure of actually reviewing her books for my column, which you can find at firstcomicsnews.com. She is one of the best storytellers out in the business, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. And listen, I'm gonna build you. You build somebody. You don't fuck around. You don't fuck around. But no joke. You tell great stories, and honestly, I mean, you deserve all the success you've had. You've worked your ass off to get to where you're at, and you honestly, and I say this, I do hope at some point I'll be like, can I please work with you, and maybe I'll be worthy enough at some point. Right. I mean, you're incredibly talented. You work very hard at what you do. And never doubt that. You're great, and never doubt that. Anyways.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, to everybody else, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you want to support this podcast, you can do so a bunch of different ways. I'm going to try to do this right for once. On my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/JustJoshandPower, you can click the follow button and subscribe. Click that. That'd be great. I'm on YouTube. I am Joshua Pantellaresco. You can hit that. It's like and subscribe buttons for all the stuff I do. My podcast is on every platform. Just hit the subscribe button and tell your friends about it. That'd be great. I got one more drink and draw tomorrow. One of the artists I have had the pleasure of working with in the past. She's awesome too. And that's Kenzie Carr. And that'll be tomorrow night. So for everybody else, stay inspired. Keep shining in the dark. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night.